Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Week in 7 Questions. Migration flows will likely continue to increase. However, there is a lack of a unified refugee plan. Are we doomed to repeat another 2015?
What we are lacking is a coherent plan, or maybe two coherent plans. A plan A, how to deal with future large inflows of irregular migrants. So we are looking or searching for a solidarity mechanism that could help EU member states asymmetrically affected. But we are definitely also lacking a plan B. And this is how to make Europe and the EU member states more attractive for the migrants that we would like to attract.
In your eyes, what role should nuclear energy have in the European energy mix?
The energy mix is a matter to be decided by each member state, not at European level. But in my opinion, nuclear energy is something that is adequate for larger member states. Is not very adequate to small member states that do not have the capacities, the infrastructure to run the nuclear power stations.
Europe's defensive tools and capabilities are still far from granting us this precious strategic autonomy. Is it a mutual EU-US effort for strengthening NATO in the short term possible?
I think definitely the European Parliament and resolutions this year and following on an internal NATO assessment last year and in light of upcoming NATO and EU security assessments in the next few months, I think all speak to the fact that greater European defense capacity can definitely work with and should definitely work with NATO for an even stronger transatlantic security alliance.
Are we at risk of seeing the increased weaponization of human beings, unless, of course, the EU and its allies take strong steps to prevent this?
Well, you're seeing the weaponization of human beings right now. That's what Lukashenko is doing. And we need to stop looking the other way or being understanding when Putin does or his allies do this kind of thing. It's good to try to cooperate with Russia, but Putin doesn't seem interested in cooperating with us, and we need to draw a conclusion.
Do you think that Europe will ever have an army of its own?
Do you know the song by Glenn Campbell, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Alvaro? You know, by the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the notes I left hanging on the door. Well, this is the feeling I have about the EU army. I know many notes hanging on doors, but nothing in this century, I believe. Maybe in the next century, maybe in the 22nd century.
Obviously, recent inflation figures have surprised everyone, including monetary policymakers, and it's one of the hottest debates nowadays. Do you take the optimistic view that inflation will soon return to normal, or will supply chain disruption and the resilient pandemic keep prices on the rise?
Well, I think we have to listen to the experts on this. Christine Lagarde, who was in one of our committees recently, and we discussed this with her, she said that the rise in the Eurozone inflation is temporary, and she expects that price pressures will ease next year. This is on the basis of detailed analysis done by the ECB. And as a result of discussions at the ECB Governing Board and their council, equally the Eurogroup President Pascal Donoghue has said the same. So we do need actually to take note of that. But on the other hand, as well as the experts' opinion, let's keep a watching brief, because we have to keep a very close eye on supply chains, how much they're going to be disrupted now with COVID. They've been quite disrupted already. We can see that, building materials, for example, are in short supply. Lots of areas. We've also got energy prices, which are, two of the main factors driving inflation. So a lot depends on how these issues, and of course the transport issues in relation to the supply chain, how these sort out over the next year.
If you had to make one wish and one good resolution for the new year, what would they be?
Good politics, although it's so much criticized all around, not only Europe, Spain, the world, Italy, Margarita, everywhere, good politics at the end and good management. There are thousands of people working in politics every day that they are not in the headlines, that they do their job, and they are the people that they obtain, and they coordinate vaccines in 1 year. This is the silent work that we have to achieve and continue. My wish is that those politicians, those administrators will be the headlines of the future.
Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned and keep following our activities on the Martens Center website and social media.